Good morning, fellow option traders. Welcome to the daily scan for Friday, July 25th, 2014. Okay, yesterday's announcements, jobless claims really came in. It's very nice. Everybody was pleasantly surprised that there weren't. Now, this is initial claims, so this is people that are filing for unemployment for the very first time. Well, not in their life, but it's just the initial filings. So after a while, you kind of bottom out because you need a minimum. There's a minimum amount of people that are going to be employed, and in my mind, that's pretty close to where we're headed. We're almost there, so you can't really lay off that many more unless you really start closing stuff down. And we haven't seen that yet. So supposedly we're in a recovery. So hopefully we don't see stuff closed down. But like I've always mentioned, when you got 300 or 400,000 people filing for filing for unemployment benefits initially every week, eventually the number adds up. All right, so after 10 months, that's 3 million. So after 12 months, that's 3.6 million. So, that starts to add up after a while, year after year. New home sales, however, was an incredible disappointment. The market didn't react too badly to it, but I think they're still digesting it. But some of the earnings last night were a little bit shocking, Amazon being one of them. So for today, we have durable good orders at 8:30, otherwise a pretty quiet day. And we're going to try to enjoy our weekend. Okay, let's see. Amazon stock dives after wide loss. And Greenspan says bubbles don't end without crunch. Duh. Yeah, I mean, this guy could put you to sleep, let me tell you. Well, most of the Fed chairmen and chiefs or whatever, with their double speak, they put you to sleep pretty quickly. Okay, let's take a look at Asia. We're kind of mixed there with a pretty strong bullish numbers on a couple of indexes and a couple of bearish indexes. And in Europe, since we get there, we're pretty much bearish across the board with the exception of the IBEX 35. All right, we're done with that. We got some neat stuff to take a look at. All right, the futures here in the U.S. are looking a little bit down, so they're going to open gapping down, possibly. And some of these are pretty solid, like the NASDAQ 100 here is pretty solidly down, and so is TF. ES is being a little bit more stubborn, and of course YM was leading when everybody else was lagging, and the Dow has been pulling back just a tad. We could take a look at those charts if you like. Yeah. No, I'm not going to take a look at those charts. No, let's take a look at them. Yeah, let's do YM, and we'll look at our other chart. Here we go. Okay, this is the Dow, and it's been a little choppy lately, as opposed to, say, the S&P 500, which has been kind of edging up and actually has a new record high that everybody's trumpeting. And Q, or the NASDAQ 100, has had kind of a large pullback, and here's a big fat red candle this morning. And then TF, or the Russell 2000, one of my favorites, big fat red candle there too. Okay, so back to our early morning market summary. Gold is up $3 overnight, still below 1,300, and oil is at 102.12, up a nickel overnight. Natural gas is still kind of way down there. Alright, I wanted to show you a few things. Excuse me, I think I may have found a fairly decent earnings play to do. Now, yesterday was earnings for BIDU, and looking at BIDU's charts, it looks pretty bullish, doesn't it? So their earnings were yesterday. How did they do? They did pretty good. So I was looking for a bullish earnings play, and I thought, well, maybe, what can I do? Well, the first thing I thought of, I'll just do like I did with CELG, and maybe just buy an at-the-money call. And I went to go take a look at an at-the-money call for, actually it was for this week's expiration. At the money, you're not going to be able to tell very well right now, but actually these are down quite a bit. What's the IV? 149. It was pretty pricey at that time. I thought maybe next week. It was, anyway, yesterday I could swear it was like about $300 or so, which was a little bit too pricey for me. So I thought, well, let's try an at-the-money diagonal and take advantage of this lower back month where we're going to have to buy the option, and versus the front month, or the nearest expiration where we would be selling the option, and at two different strikes, of course. So this is really just a vertical or a credit spread or a debit spread, however you want to look at it, with two different strikes where we're buying one strike and selling another. But in this case, on a diagonal, you're doing different months. So you take advantage of this. This one you have to buy, and the IV is 63, so there's, not as much premium as there is in the one that you're selling for, that has 149 for an IV. So I thought I would take a look at it, and here's what I was messing around with. Here it is right here. Okay, this is what it looked like yesterday when I locked her down right here and said, okay, I took a screenshot here, and I'm going to buy this for $585. And I'm pretty well protected, even if it drops sort of far down, I'm not going to lose all that much. And this was not cheap. $585 is kind of expensive. But I figured I would try to take advantage of IV collapse. And you can see here that we were at 107 at that time for an IV. And right now implied volatility is 149. So that's probably pretty much the way it ended up last night. I forget which time, at what time. I think this was around 3 o'clock, somewhere around there. So it actually increased. So I thought, well, let me take a look and see what this is going to look like if I increase the IV, and I can do that. And you do that by clicking on this little wrench right here, and then you click on more, and you can actually adjust the implied volatility for each option that you're doing here. So I said, well, if this one drops, if the short one for July 4 drops 50 points, which it was at like one, where was it here? It was at 107 at that time, and if it drops down to around 50 where the next expiration is, and then I drop the next expiration, which is the August 1, drop that one another 10 points. Now that's not dropping it 10% of IV, it's dropping it the percent 10 points is what it's doing. So looking up here, even if you just, the price did not even move at all, it would have been up 151 bucks. As it is, max here is pretty much locked in at 416, which is the difference in these two prices here at that time. And I should have listed those, both of them, so that we could see them. I have to make sure I do that next time so we can see the individual prices here of each strike and expiration. But without the price even moving at all, it would have been up 151 bucks. So if we take a look at it, what it looks like today, or this morning, over here to the risk profile. So yes, BIDU had good earnings. The market was happy. Let's take a look at a chart. Let's see here. I want to do, let me think here. I want to do 30-minute. There we go. Okay, so here's what happened overnight. Went from 205 to 219, so about $14. And it looks like it backed off a little bit after the initial euphoria, but here we are. And this is what the trade looks like now. So the reason why this line sinks here is because we're losing premium on our long call, but eventually it flattens out at the difference between the two. So there's still a little bit, it's saying that there's still a little bit of premium left on the long call. The short is going to collapse, and IV is going to collapse this morning. We'll take a look at it. So we even pumped up a little bit here on the back month, which is next Friday's expiration. So if you're going to pick a direction, this is one way you can go. It's not the ultimate, it's not the best in the whole world, but if you wanted to play an earnings situation, this is one way that you could do it, and this is called a diagonal. Kind of looks like an unbalanced butterfly in a way too. Alright, so that is that. So now we're ready to go through our A+ list. You know, CELG, the other thing, well, we can talk about that when we get to it. How's that? Alright, Apple's up first. Okay, we're waiting for an approach to this target right here. I think the Apple might have run out of gas. I'm not sure that I would like a smart watch. I don't wear a watch anyway because I have a smartphone. Why would I need a smart watch? I don't know. You know how long I've been resisting that smartphone, and I finally got it. I try to not stick my nose in it all the time like I see a lot of people doing. As soon as they are bored in the least bit, out comes the phone. Alright, so that's Apple. Amazon, they had their earnings. What are we looking at here? They actually lost? Wow. Well, that's not good for old Amazon, my friends. I'm going to delete. I see here that there's a ton of drawings back here, so I'm going to delete them all, or remove them. We don't delete them now, we just remove them. Delete's a bad word. That's probably politically incorrect to say delete. Yeah. I I would suspect that Amazon's probably going to head down into the tank here. Let's see what happened. Oh, yes. Looks like they're going to open around 319, and they were up at 360. So that's like a $40 drop. And on a regular chart, on this chart, it's not even on this chart. Yeah. Okay, well, that's like Chipotle, only in the other direction. Okay, let's take a look at BIDU. BIDU, we know that BIDU is going to probably gap up this morning. We have a lot of drawings here too, so let's remove all drawings and clean this one up. We're going to get a gap up on BIDU, so we'll be waiting down here for another entrance. Yes, they did pretty decent. Alright, now CELG, CELG's not going to work out. We have a long put here, even if price should decide to move down here, and I'm not sure what might have happened overnight. Basically nothing. So that's going to be a loser with a capital L. So anyway, it was a nice try, Guru. Nice try. Okay. Yeah, when you want to be a net seller, not just a buyer of options. Well, for the most part, anyway. Yeah. So what else we got going on here? Well, we have the potential to do a, I would say, because prices consolidating along here, I would say that this is a 20 delta candidate on a bear call side. Alright, Chipotle still hanging out up there, so we're looking to clean these up. And we're looking for a new spot here. So come and get it. Costco. We're still looking at a 20 delta here. It just doesn't want to give us a tiny little bit of a reversal, but that's what we would be looking for. We're just afraid that maybe we might be wanting to break out of this doldrum here around the 118 level. Let's see here. Let me get rid of this one. There. Alright, so they're going on the list for a bear call also. 20 delta. Alright, let's take a peek at the Dow like we did just a little while ago. We got a lot of consolidation going on here. I would not do a bear call on this at this time. It needs to, bend these moving averages before I would do that. Counter trend trade, yeah, possibly could, because you're getting a lot of consolidation here. From recently anyway. I mean, this is linear. This is like right straight up, like a rocket ship. Well, a rocket ship would go a little bit straighter up, but definitely a nice solid uptrend here with some consolidation going on up here, which has happened before. So we need to just be a little bit careful. Maybe some short-term trades next week if it continues laterally here. So we'll see what happens. Gold. GLD. Yes, we had gold down for a bull put, but nope, nothing going here. So get rid of some of these. Alright, and clean some of this up. It's like phantom drawings that appear from the past. This is where I did the most recent August expiration covered call, and this is my current cost basis. So we're still below that and looking maybe for a trade down here with a 20 delta. So that was also on our list yesterday. Google. Let's see here. Yeah, we're looking to get in down here. We have nice solid uptrend, good earnings. So still looking to do something up there. Move that old drawing. Any other stuff back here? I don't see anything. Alright. So we're just hanging in there for that one. LinkedIn. Oh, we got a lot of junk here on LinkedIn. Clean that one up. Okay, so we have earnings next week on LinkedIn. That should be pretty interesting. Nice march up here. I think we're trying to bend this trend. So we're not going to look for anything here because of earnings next week. So we're just going to take a pass on it. I don't even want to put a target in there at this time. Alright, NDX, we have a lot of stuff out here. Clean that one up, and we're going to put a target in here for a 20 delta. So we just go yellow on that. So we're still waiting for that one. Netflix is headed for the seller. We have some pretty solid support here around the 330 level. I would expect that it's probably going to head down there, test it, and then maybe break through and continue down. Even though, yeah, earned a penny more, half a penny more than they expected. There's just a lot of people offering streaming services, and I don't know, you know what, and this has been going on for a while, but Netflix is kind of a darling, I guess you could say. And I think that maybe they've been doing some stock buybacks here, driving the price up. And now it's time to pay the piper. So, we're still looking for a target here because we still are in sort of an uptrend. But let's start from scratch here, because I think we're having a lot of trend reversals here. So let's slap a target in up here and wait. Price line. Alright, we have a 20 delta play up here. That I did this yesterday, so that's what we jumped in on yesterday. I also closed out SPX yesterday. So this is where we're at with Priceline. Clean this up. So this is kind of a picture perfect entry here for a 20 delta. We got lower highs and lower lows going on here right now. If we were to draw a channel in here, it would look something like, well, you can see it. Maybe you can't. I don't know. I can help. Let's see here. Channel. We'll start the channel here and run it down to there. So that's kind of what it's looking like right now. I'll leave that on there for a while and see if it proves out, at least for a couple of days. Okay, or until this one plays out. So I did 4 of these at $1, so that's a total of $400, and that's almost like a perfect 5-to-1. So we're risking $2,000 to make $400, basically. Okay, that's Netflix. We got Russell here. We have an open play right now on Russell. and it expires today, and it's probably going to work out well for us. So I scrolled back in time here on the weekly chart and found out that this is one of the ones that I was using to test CSS v2 on, and I had a ton of drawings in the past, and this one is going to expire today. Will I close it early? I may, or I might just let it ride. So I cleaned up all the drawings from it. And now, the newest thing that we're going to be looking for is possibly doing one for next week today. So, let's go back here to our target and throw a yellow one in up here and show this as 20 delta, and we might want to jump in on this again today. Let's see what we get for next Friday. Let's take a peek. We got some time. You guys don't mind if you have to watch this forever, do you? Let's see here. Next week. Next week is what? Thursday? Really? So this one expired, huh? Let's see here. 20 delta on the call side, right here. What do we got? 85 cents on a $5 spread. That's pretty close. And that's at 11.80, which is even higher than this one was. So that could be a good play. I might even squeeze it down a little bit to maybe, well, it's 11.75. And this one was at 11.70. So I could go back to the well again at 11.70. And collect even more than my 5-to-1 risk reward. Anything more than $1 on a $5 spread, 5-to-1 or better. You might do that. Okay, let's take a look at SPX. Okay, we have a new high here. I don't think I'm going to mess around with that one. I closed this yesterday for a loss. And as it turns out, it's entirely possible that I could have stayed in there. Wow, this is an old marker here. I don't know where that's from, but I'm going to look at cleaning this one up as well. Actually, the way to clean it up is just to do that. Or clean. Alright, Tesla. Just peeking at that one. Didn't give us an entry. We had them on our list yesterday for a bear call, and it didn't give us a hook. And we have earnings coming up, so we're going to stay away from this. So we'll just clean this whole chart up and start over again. And then last but not least is Visa. So you're not getting out early today, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Last but not least is Visa in an uptrend. We got a hook here almost at the 70 mark. So we're going to wait a while for that one. Alright, so anyway, that's it for today, for Friday. We got a couple of prospects, CELG, Costco, and Gold. And we'll see if they work out for us. And also, I was looking to do maybe another play on RUT on the bear call side. So that's it. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it to the max. Thank you very much for watching, and happy trading.